Hey ladies, it's the PPP Podcast with your host Moneyy, the lounge for the poised, paid, and prospering woman. Has everything you need in female entrepreneurism. In the lounge, let me take you through my sizable risks, tremendous rewards, and greatest challenges that established my career, as well as the balance I had to initiate while still remaining poised, paid, and prosperous. Female-ran enterprises are steadily growing all over the world, contributing to household incomes and the growth of national economies. I will walk us through the successes of the fashion, apparel, and retail industries at the highest levels. Grow with me, ladies. Without further delay, here's another amazing episode of the PPP Podcast. Hey, you guys, we're back again with another one. If you've been with me since day one, thank you for listening. I greatly appreciate you. If you're new to the pod, welcome to the PPP Podcast. I am your host, Moneyy, and we're back again with another topic about entrepreneurism, the lifestyle of an entrepreneur, just basic tips and knowledge from what I've learned, what I am learning from colleagues, just from real life experiences. So today I would like to talk about that shared fields don't necessarily equate to competition. And that basically means people who do the same thing aren't automatically competition to you. I'm going to say that one more time. A person that's in your same playing field is not necessarily a competitor. It's not always true, right? And I've always been this way. I think I'm going to die this way. I just know that there is enough sun to shine on all of us. When you go on the bread aisle, there's literally a aisle of all bread companies. And they all sell different types of bread and they all thrive because everyone likes what they like. And I kind of talked about this on the pod. Let's go back real quick. Episode 25, marketing tips for startup success. I basically talked about how, we should collaborate more. I think collaborating is a great marketing tool. It's a huge asset for businesses. Like photographers collaborating with photographers. Artists collaborating features on songs. You get what I'm saying? That's I guess the best way I could describe it. Look at, it might be, Drake featuring X, Y, and Z. I think it's such a huge asset for both parties. Because collaborating with another female clothing business, their followers might not necessarily they might like what they're selling, right? But you might have a couple of followers that like what I sell, especially if we not selling the same thing. We could both be selling women's apparel, but we both have two different types of tastes, right? I might have followers that like what you have. I personally just be like, it is open opportunity because people gonna buy what they want to buy. And like I said before, you're gonna bread out. Look at it. We drive down the street every day and there's literally 4 corners and gas stations on each one of them. And they all sell the same fucking gas. One might just feel like it's want to be 1 cent less or 2 cent less, or you know what I'm saying, or have a better history of better gas. Come on now. Gas is gas. That shit is gonna burn out and we have to come back and get it. So today, I just want to dive into that topic. Share fields don't necessarily equate to competition. And from there, I would say, in a world of interconnected industries and rapidly evolving markets, the concept of competition has taken a whole new dimension. Social media is a motherfucker. Social media is literally the person or thing. Not gonna say because social media is a thing. It's what's driving competition. While that is true, right? That individuals or businesses operating in the same field might seem like natural competitors, but the reality is often more a nuisance. Shared fields don't necessarily equate to competition. That reflects, the modern business dynamics and the potential for collaboration, even among those who seemingly occupy the same space. So I hope that someone who's listening, go partner up with someone in your industry. It's totally fine. If there's somebody that you love and you know you admire or you're inspired by, hit them up. See if y'all can work together. I don't see why not. I think it's beautiful. I love to see um collaboration over competition. I love to see it. I think it's dope. It brings people together, and you just never know what could come out of something so great. And I'll show you guys this story, right? When I first started Accessories Matter and I opened up my first location, there was a female that was in the mall that had a female clothing store. And me being me, like, I'm not shy or I'm not really the one that's scared to ask questions because I feel like if you don't ask, you won't know. But, like, I went to her and I was like, how do you like it here? In the place that we were at, I'm about to open up a women's apparel store. But it's like accessories at the time. I didn't think I was gonna, I'm not gonna say I didn't think, but at that moment when I first started, it was all accessories. Um, I was like, I'm about to open up an accessory store, whatever. So purses, glasses, necklaces, X, Y, and Z accessories. And I was just like, asking about software, asking about just different things, because we're gonna be working with the same clientele, right? And then as time went on, I even was like, I want to open up another location, and I was definitely ahead of my time with that. But I wanted her and I to open up a boutique together. Like half of the store would have been like her type of clothing, and then the other half would have been my type. So where what we'd have done, we'd have driven like double traffic. I would have been promoting my business. She would have been promoting her business, right? And we would have made a page together promoting, us joining, right? But two heads are better than one any day. Any day. Obviously it didn't happen. But I would have loved that for us. But some things, you just be like, you'll never know. It's like it's okay that you will never know it. It's totally fine. But I definitely have thought about collaborating with people in my industry. I have friends that sell women apparel. It does not bother me all day, every day. I could be out and somebody telling me, "Oh, you look cute. Where you got this from?" And I'm like, "Accessories Matter." And I could be with my friend. I'm like, "Oh, but this my homegirl. She sell women's apparel as well." Like, I feel like that's why I'm so blessed because I'm never trying to dim the next woman's light. And me shining light on another woman that's doing what I do is not gonna dim my light. Like, all it does is just make a person just look at, like me in a different limelight because it's like, damn, y'all, you don't mind saying that your homegirl do X, Y. Like, we're not a competition. I don't even look at my friends like competition. And like I said, I have friends that work in the industry that I work in. Like, and one of my close friends sells women's apparel. And it is called her Instagram is I shop Desire B. Let me make sure. Yep. I shop Desire B. And we literally like promote each other. Like she takes some time off from her business, so she haven't been like really, really, really on it. But whenever we out, she promote me, I promote her. Like we have two different types of tastes. We sell two different types of things, but our audience, our client is the woman. But we don't look at each other as competition, like at all. And I love it and I appreciate it. Like we both in the same industry. We both go to um, like conventions together. That's where we actually met at a convention. We met on social media, but we met in person at a convention in Las Vegas. Two females from New Orleans we cheering each other on Instagram, like, how you always have that long distance best friend that you don't even know, never met, but just always supporting you. That's how we were with each other. And yeah, some years ago, about 5 years ago, we met up in Vegas and we've been locked in ever since. So I say that from a personal experience that, you know, just because we share the same field, it does not mean we're competition. And I'm gonna break it down a little bit more for you guys. Diverse businesses, models, and niches, like that's number one, right? Within any given industry, there's like numerous number of like niches, segments, and specialized areas that cater to distinctive customers' needs, right? Whether than competing, right, directly, businesses can often coexist by targeting different niches or offering unique value propositions. Meaning, I know my clientele, I know my audience, I know who I'm targeting, the female that I am targeting. Whereas someone that's in the same industry might be targeting like a different age group, different demographic, or a different nationality. Like it really just depends on your audience. Like who is that person and your niche, right? Um, so after we say right the diverse business models and niches, right? I go into step 2, or number 2 of this will be collaborations and partnerships, right? Like I'm speaking of, shared fields can provide opportunities for collaboration and partnerships, especially in cases where they complement, right? Complementary products or services can create like synergies. And I'm super, super big on stuff like that, like bringing in two people that even if we don't do the same thing, but we work, why not? Why not sync this shit together? I just think it just makes sense. Why not? Businesses can combine their strengths to offer comprehensive solutions that benefit both parties and their customers. If why, like, okay, me, in retail and women's apparel, right? If I had a homegirl that sold shoes, why would I not want my homegirl? Like, why would I not want us to work together? Why would we not cross promote each other? Because when women need clothes, next thing they need is shoes. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you have to put your pride aside and know that just because we work in the same industry does not mean we are competition. Ding, ding, ding. Market expansion and education. The presence of multiple players in a shared field can actually expand the market by creating more awareness, right? And driving consumer education. Gems, baby, gems. This can be particularly true for emerging industries where joint efforts can lead to overall growth. All right? Let's grow together. I always say grow with me. That's what I tell you guys on the pod. Like, this is a journey. You gotta grow with me. So you have to make sure, you're looking at these aspects, right? So then the next thing I'll tell you guys, innovation and knowledge sharing. Businesses within the same industry often face similar challenges. So me creating this PPP podcast, it is for, the launch for the Poise, the Paid, and the Prosperous Woman. It's about the entrepreneur lifestyle, and not necessarily like it is for in retail because that's the industry I'm in. But it's for any entrepreneur. Like I know that anybody that's an entrepreneur can relate to what I'm speaking on these pods because we all have similar challenges. Literally. Whether you are a barber, whether you are a cook, a chef, whether you are an artist, whether you are a graphic designer, an editor, you are an entrepreneur. If you have the entrepreneur spirit, you face some challenges that I've spoken about. And if you haven't faced them, baby, you might gonna face them. So listen to this pod and enjoy, literally, because I really be dropping gems and I be trying to let people know that, like, the shit that, like, I watch YouTube, even throughout my process. But like, man, I didn't have the podcast. We didn't have podcasts 6 years ago. We had them, but the light wasn't shined on them. Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them. Okay, but nah, seriously, it wasn't as huge as it is now. So now people are listening to more YouTube and more podcasts on while they driving or whatever the case may be. So rather than viewing each other as competitors, right? Competition with one another, they become more sources, right? Of innovation and knowledge sharing. Cross promoting of ideas can drive progress for both parties, the entire field. Everyone is winning because we are literally doing cross-pollination. We are syncing this shit together. Come on now. Get woody. All right. So they have co-petition and ecosystems, right? The idea of co-petition acknowledges that businesses can, cooperate and compete, right? It's in a complex ecosystems, right? Companies might collaborate on certain aspects while competing on other. See, that's deep right there. I'm gonna say that one more time. In complex ecosystems, companies might collaborate on certain aspects while competing on others, fostering a dynamic and a relationship, a symbolic relationship at that. Because, we might say, okay, well, we're going to collaborate on this, but we're going to compete in this area. And it could be just friendly, but it works for the both of us. You just got to put your heads together. I'm all for it. Listen, I'm all for collaboration. I'm a competitive person, but I just never felt like I had competition, not for real. I mean, I used to say when I first started out, like my only competition was like the corporate stores. Like, cause that probably would be that was my only competition in the beginning of this journey was corporate. When I'm literally a Black female opening up in a mall, I don't have no money. I mean, I had enough to open up a boutique or whatever, but like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know the beginning of nothing when I first started out, but I literally opened up across from Charlotte Roots. It's so hard to, and I'm happy that I believe in myself, right? Because Charlotte Roots selling necklaces for $5. It's selling shirts and shit for $5. When I'm across from them, and I'm selling necklaces for $25. You get what I'm saying? But it's just the differences. And that's how I learned that, I could still survive directly across from a corporate business that is, manufacturing these things and get them at a better rate than I am because they're corporate and they've been around my whole damn life. So it's like, you just have to figure out what is for you and just like see the longevity in it. Trust the process. So the next thing I'll say is, evolving customer preferences. Customer preferences continually change, like constantly. What might be a competitor today could become a collaborator tomorrow. As market changes, the trends and the demands, they shift all the time. I tell y'all this on pods all the time. What's in today, tomorrow is something different. So you might feel like, oh, this is my competition today, but tomorrow you're like, I need to work with this person. Like, I need to collaborate. I need to, see what they're doing that I'm not because I see that they're thriving. I need to make some changes. Customer preferences always just change. So my friend might sell something and my customers might start to like, or they in a certain age range, but as they grow, they might want something that's on a different age range. You get what I'm saying? Like, it really is just all about what you sell, what's your product, and how you look at things. But that makes a lot of sense because evolving customer preferences, they change. Like me, I'm getting older, right? I'll be 29 soon. So, the way that I'm dressed is starting to change. Not saying that I don't wear this stuff I sell because I rightfully do, but I'm also like my clients that are my age, because that was my audience, my age, they're getting older. So their taste is going to begin to change. While I'm in this phase right now where it's like I have to maintain the customers that that age group that I initially started with, I also need to keep and maintain the customers that are growing older like I am. They're evolving. Ding, 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 major key right there. So the next thing I'll say is global markets and opportunities. Let's talk about that. With the globalization of markets, opportunities can arise beyond local or even national boundaries. So shared field businesses can explore expansion, right, into new regions while still maintaining distinct market spaces. Now, I feel like that right there, that is something to think about, like further, like deeper into your business. Wanting to collaborate with, that's like me wanting to collaborate with like Amazon. So instead of me just like accessories matter and I'm just like, um, solely owned and operated by me and, through my platform. But I could also say, well, look, I'm going to put my business on Amazon. I'm going to sell my items on Amazon as well. That is global. That's a bigger opportunity. That's globalization. You get what I'm saying? It's expanding into new areas, new regions. People that don't usually see my product would see it, because I'm on Amazon or eBay or Etsy or just collaborating with people or platforms in other regions. That's what I mean about that right there, right? So the next thing is, I would say basically adopting a value-centric approach, right? Over a truly competitive mindset can lead to more sustainable and mutual beneficial outcomes. Businesses that prioritize delivering value to customers can coexist in the same field. That's a value-centric approach. Did you hear me? You have to, be able to know and prioritize still delivering value to your customers. All right? So again, I want you guys to know that, share fields don't necessarily equate to competition. And people that do the same thing as you is not labeled automatically your competition. Like, that's so easy. Like, I don't know no other way to kind of like describe it or make it make sense for you guys, but collaboration over competition. And I'm always say that, collaboration over competition. And I guess I'll close it out, right, with the idea that, sharing fields don't necessarily equate to competition, underscores and multifaceted nature of businesses interactions in today's interconnected world. While there may be, some instance of direct competition, it's essential to recognize the potential for collaboration, innovation, and coexistence within the same industry. By embracing this like broader perspective, businesses can harness the power of shared expertise and collective efforts to drive positive outcomes for themselves in their respective fields. Everybody's not your competition. And just because we do the same thing, you isn't we not competing. And truth be told, sometimes I just be feeling like, I'm that girl. Like, we're there's no, what they say, you can't compete where you don't compare. Like, I don't really compare my business to other people's business. Like, I really just be like in my own zone. For real. Like, so it's like, it's no reason to compete. It's no reason. There's no reason. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys got some gems from this and you really thought about it. Whether, like I said, whatever you're doing, whatever it is, just know that we're going to say collaboration over competition. And just because we do the same thing or you do the same thing as the next person does not mean you guys are competition. Till next time, you guys. Mwah. You've just listened to another episode of the PPP Podcast with Moneyy, the lounge for the poised, paid, and prospering woman. The PPP Podcast was recorded live in the studio with final editing before uploading. Subscribe today to the PPP Podcast for more incredible content. Don't miss the next episode of the PPP Podcast with Moneyy on all main streaming platforms.